Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dietitian's Table. I'm your host, Joy, a registered dietitian, and today I'm sitting down with Darien. Hi, Darien, and
Hi.
let's dive into it.
Perfect.
How are
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Tell me a little bit about yourself so we can get to know you.
I'm in my 30s. I have autism and ADHD, hence why I'm here. Eating is a little bit tricky for me. I'm really picky food, just whatever it is. But I don't know. What else do you want to know?
What do you do for a living?
So I do real estate, and then I have my own podcast. I do content creating. I'm really passionate about animals. I have 3 animals, 2 dogs and a cat. I love reading. I play golf. I love being outside. So I'm really active. If the sun is out, I'm outside.
That's nice.
Which is nice to be in San Diego when that happens.
Oh yeah, for sure. The perfect place to be outside.
Exactly.
And what do you like to read? What types of books?
Everything. So right now I'm reading this book. It's called The Dark Archives. It's kind of funny, or not funny, but it's a little interesting. So it's these books it's a librarian who discovered books that are bound in human skin. And she just wants to know why this has happened. So that's why it's called The Dark Archives, because she goes on a hunt to try and find these archaic books that are bound in human skin.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to know how it ends.
I don't know. I'm in the middle of it, so it's pretty fun.
It's mainly like a thriller, you would say?
No, it's more of a journalistic type of book.
Okay.
She's her findings. She goes all around the world, trying to track down these books because there's only 3 or 5 in the world.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And what does a typical day of eating look like for you?
That's where it gets a little tricky, because especially since I'm neurodivergent, a lot of it depends on my mood, unfortunately, and nothing tastes good to me. That's my problem. So a lot of times I'm drinking my food. So I usually start my day off with a protein drink, because then I at least have 30 calories or 30 grams of protein, just because I always try and start my day. Obviously, with ADHD, I love sugar. I can eat sugar as soon as I wake up. So I try and start it with protein just to help my brain function also. So I usually start with a protein drink, and usually I'll do a protein like a turkey sausage or a chicken sausage, just because textures are really hard for me. So I don't eat beef just because the consistency of beef is always iffy. It's never consistent. The yucky pieces, I don't like the yucky pieces.
So you have an issue with the texture?
Yes.
Okay.
And big time with textures. And it's the softness. I can't eat things that are too crunchy. I don't like things that are too soft. It's a struggle. And then it's just hard because you're older, and then people make fun of you because you're older and you eat like a 5-year-old, So it's a little tricky.
And how do you manage that? Because you did mention that people make fun of you. How does it affect you? And
it hurts my feelings, honestly, especially being just little and skinny. People are always making fun of me, telling me that I need to eat, or what's wrong with me, or so how do I deal with that? I just try and not let it get into my head, but also I'm very sensitive, as you can imagine, so I try not to let it bother me, and I just know that as long as I'm following what I'm doing, then who cares what anybody else says.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And did you get an official diagnosis?
Yeah. And that was really, it made me feel better, to be completely honest. Because like I said, I'm in my 30s, and I was late diagnosed, especially being a female. It gets misdiagnosed all the time because women mask, we're good at masking. So I felt relieved when I got diagnosed, because I didn't think anything was wrong with me, because you go through life and you're just what's wrong with me? Why am I like this? What's happening? And you feel like something is wrong with you, especially with society telling you something's wrong with you. Why can't you just eat this? If you go out to places, people are just eat it. And it's just I can't just eat it. It's not that easy for me. It's hard. So that's hard to deal with. But I just kind of get over it.
And I'm so happy that you got that diagnosis, because once you know that nothing's wrong with you specifically, it's such a big, relief. Because you did mention that everyone is eat more and eat this, and why don't you do that? And then they don't see you struggling and you're really trying, but you just can't
Right. And
do it.
and it's hard because people think that like just because you eat chicken nuggets or pizza all the time that you're unhealthy, but it's like also when it's hard to eat in front of people, you know what I mean? So it's hard to eat like outside in front. So like when I'm at home, my diet's very different than if I'm out with people, just because I am really picky. So like when you go to places, I like the consistency. So like I don't know if other people are like this, but like I have like certain restaurants that I go to, like McDonald's or like Trader Joe's. Like I have my certain things. I like the consistency, like BJ's. Like so I like franchises because everything is consistent. Like you always get the same thing every single time. So that's also hard for me to like go out in public settings to eat different things that I normally would not eat.
Yeah.
So it's hard to socialize also in that aspect.
I get it. And what was your diagnosis? Because you mentioned autism and you mentioned ADHD.
So ADHD.
So I'm sorry?
ADHD.
Yes, ADHD. And that's where you're feeling that you have difficulty with food. And when did it start? Do you remember?
Yeah. Ever since I was little. Yeah. I remember just always feeling different and always being picky. But growing up, usually, I mean, it's different with everybody, but usually people who are neurodivergent come with some kind of trauma, right, in their childhood. So obviously that's where it stemmed from, is just my childhood. But I didn't realize, because going through your whole life, you don't know that something's not wrong with you, but you don't know why you're different or if you're different, and you don't know until you're older when
You don't know how to pinpoint
exactly. And you just think everybody's going through the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, everybody just eats like this. But no, you don't realize that until you're older and you start researching yourself because you want to better yourself and figure out, why am I like this? Why do I have trouble doing this? So I felt relieved once I found out, to be completely honest, because then I was able to manage, because I've always had a problem. Like I've always been the same weight. Like I could still put on my prom dress from high school, but that's because I've always been the same weight, and it's been hard for me to gain all my entire life. So I felt better once I got diagnosed, because then I could learn to manage it myself. Like, because even when sometimes I forget like how to eat, honestly, and I'm like, okay, like I haven't eaten at all, like 24 hours. And then so sometimes I'll Google like, hey, what can I eat? And I always forget soups. Like soups are always easy because
the texture is easy.
Yeah. So it's always easy when I have like hard days. I always go to soups. Always, like a turkey chili. That's easy
because it's your comfort food.
Yeah,
or you don't have, it's safe.
So that and like cheese pizzas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you get diagnosed?
Ooh, honestly, when I moved here to San Diego, so 3 years ago.
Okay. So how old were you?
33.
You got diagnosed very late.
31.
Kind of late.
Definitely in my 30s for sure.
Okay. And did you go to your doctor and say, hey, I want to, like, how did you advocate for yourself to get to this diagnosis?
So I was ADHD, and then they didn't know that I was autistic also. They thought I had other things, but I just, your body, I knew I wasn't all like a borderline or bipolar. Like I knew I wasn't those things. And one of my therapists, she was like, Darien, you have an eating disorder. And I was like, no, I don't, because when you associate an eating disorder, you associate an image problem. But I don't have, like, I love myself. I love my body. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people who do have an eating disorder, but that wasn't my case. I felt, even though it is technically in that category, I didn't associate it with body image issues. For me, it literally was me not being able to sense my body. Like I don't know when I'm hungry. I can't tell those things. So that was hard for me.
Okay. And then that's your therapist who guided you towards that. And then you got diagnosed with what type of disorder?
The ARFID.
The ARFID. Okay. So for our audience, because ARFID is kind of newly compared to the other eating disorders. So I don't know if many of our audience is familiar with that. It's Avoidant Restrictive Food Intake Disorder. So that's exactly what you said. It's not, so it's a type of eating disorder where it's not the body image or your weight that's the issue. It's It can be sensory, so it could be the smell of food, the texture, like you mentioned. It could be the fear of, choking on your food. So it can be a fear of eating, and not really because you want to control your food or control your weight or your body. It's more of, again, it's the
The
food.
sensation.
The
I feel like
sensation.
for me, it's like the sensation. Just it's
So for you, it's sensory.
big time. Even when I touch things, like if I touch something, like I'll give you an example, like fish tacos. Sometimes you know how they're just like so crunchy.
Yeah.
Even if I touch it, I can. It's so hard
Because of the scent.
Yeah.
Do you have an issue with the smell? Or
Sometimes it depends, but it's never to the point, like I call it suffering in silence. So I will suffer in silence a lot, to where I just kind of manage it by myself. Like I just deal with whatever. So but sometimes the senses or the smell will be really strong. But if I'm in public, what do you do in those situations? You just kind of suck it up,
Well, I'm so sorry that you feel that way and that you have to suffer in silence, honestly. And did you once you were diagnosed with ARFID, did you work with a dietitian, or are you working with a dietitian to get exposure to slightly to different foods?
To be honest, I'm usually doing it by myself, just because I feel like that's how I'm going to learn the best, just because, I'm not going to always have somebody holding my hand 24/7. And so I have obviously people in the industry who I can reach out to. They're not my specific people, but I do reach out to them when I have questions. But I do try and do it by myself, just because in the real world, I'm going to be by myself. And especially you tell me, but everything that I've looked up in research and everything from a doctor it's kind of like in your head, So it's not in your head in a bad way, but I feel like I just have to train myself to get over it. Unless, how do I get over it? I don't know.
Well, this is one way of saying it, but for sure you have to train yourself to expose yourself, so trying to get out a little bit of your comfort zone and try to get exposed to different types of textures and smells to be able to build to because you have that's safe foods, and these are the foods that you eat, like your soup that is safe for you. And then with exposure, you can slightly start increasing your safe food and then add more foods that are safe.
How do I branch out with like the fish taco thing? Is that always going to be an issue for me? Like the texture, is that always going to be...
You can grow to start adding more textures for sure, but it starts really slowly. So you would, since you're not able to touch it with your hands, are you able to, with the fork, are you able to touch it with your lips? So very small exposures, and if you're able to do that, that's a big win. So it doesn't have to be completely eating the whole taco and saying I did it. It can be just as simple as touching it with your lips or with 2 fingers, and getting familiar with it. And having it with your safe foods, so combining it with your safe foods.
That's another thing too. So I'm really weird with mixing.
You can't mix. The foods have to be separate.
Yeah, and I can't eat things together. For example, Thanksgiving, I can't eat mashed potatoes and turkey together. No.
So I'm curious, how did ARFID affect your family meals and, social events like Thanksgiving?
Well, that's kind of a tricky question, because I don't really celebrate Thanksgiving, and I don't really have family, so it's just kind of, I'm usually by myself. But in social settings, it is difficult and that, like I said, people do make fun of me, and I obviously have people pleaser problems. So, but I'm really sensitive, and it does bother me being made fun of, because then, I don't know, people just see you and they judge you differently because you don't fit into this little box that they have, where it's just okay, well, why did you come out if you're not going to eat with us? Why did you come out if you don't like the menu? Because I want to hang out with you. Not because I want to stuff my face all the time. I just want to hang out with you,
Yeah. And are you comfortable enough to tell them or explain?
I am comfortable enough in myself to explain. But when I have to defend myself, that's when I get a little frustrated. It's because I feel like I have to defend myself, and I don't want to defend myself around people who I want to feel safe with. So it's just hard for me to find people to where I'm comfortable to talk about this, because it is hard, because it is, like you said, it is a new thing. And people do associate it with picky eater syndrome, and they make fun of you where it's just like, it's in your head, get over it. Where it's like, no, it's not in my head. This is a real thing for me. It's a neurodivergent thing. It's a sensory, and it's just hard.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for talking about it.
Thank you.
I appreciate you being here. And how does, since you're doing it on your own and you're trying to expose yourself to those foods that are maybe scary for you, how have you been able to manage, or what's one big win, let's say, for you?
I've had a couple, but honestly, so I never ate beef. Like, I probably haven't eaten beef. Well, I have now, but I probably the last 10 years just because of the texture. And I accidentally ate a taquito with beef in it, and it was fine. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll have beef. And then I ate an In-N-Out burger with like just a plain like cheeseburger, like just plain with pickles. But like for me, that was a win. Like eating an In-N-Out burger with like meat and the texture, like that was a big win for me. And I literally haven't had an In-N-Out burger in probably like 10 years, and I had one for the first time like 2 months ago.
Wow, that's great.
Thank you. The little wins.
It was a happy accident.
Yes, it was, because then now it opened the door, and now I can have another kind of protein.
Yes, exactly. And now you're increasing your circle of safe foods and adding more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for me, protein is always, because I do work out, so it's hard for me, like I said, to gain weight, and the protein is like a big substance for me. Like, especially since I work out, I have to eat my grams in protein like as much as I weigh, so that's hard. So I'm literally just eating protein all the time.
Trying to have it with every meal and snack.
Yeah.
And are protein drinks and smoothies and stuff easier for you?
Big time. Big time. And I'm also weird, like I only drink hot water. So I don't know if that, but like the warm, like I can't drink cold water at all, or like ice. It has to be like kettle water.
Okay. It's like you're having tea every day, or like an herbal tea.
Exactly. And I think it's a comfort thing, like because it's warm, so maybe it's like my security. Maybe just it being warm. I don't know.
And also foods is the same. You prefer if it's hot foods?
I like room temperature. So yeah, everything is like room temperature. I don't like it super hot.
Yeah.
Is that a common thing?
It really depends, again, because ARFID is
spectrum.
Is a spectrum, exactly. So it really depends on where you're at and what you're comfortable with and not, and what really bothers you specifically. So that's why it's really interesting to know exactly what's a struggle, and then work your way up, and then one step at a time. For the textures, so now you're used to creamy textures. You prefer soups and drinks and stuff, and then you can try to change this texture slightly.
I know, that's so scary. Like the thickness, it's the thickness of things. Like even smoothies, it has to be the just right, like a Goldilocks, just right texture, and that's tricky. Yeah, it's just frustrating. It's honestly just frustrating, because I feel like, number one, like you said, like it's new and nobody talks about it, and there's not too many people to relate to unless you're neurodivergent, which not everybody goes around and be like, hey, I'm on the spectrum, So that's hard.
That's why you should, work with a dietitian. And again, yes, you know yourself. No one knows you like you do. You know what you can, how you can push yourself and how much. And also you can do that with a dietitian where you can feel safe and, supported while you do that as well.
So what do you suggest, like, for just for the hard textures? Just trying more different things?
Anything that is crunchy, you mean? So like I said, you need to work your way up. So let's talk about some nut butters. Are you able to eat nut butters, like peanut butter, cashew butter, almond butter?
I like peanut butter.
Peanut butter, okay. And you have the creamy one usually? Okay. So one option could be is to try a little bit of the crunchy one. So it's because it's still creamy with some crunch, so it's not all crunchy. So that's working up to a crunchier texture, and then seeing how that goes. How do you feel about that?
That feels fine. It's like the really hard, like the kettle chips.
Yes,
I can't eat those.
Okay,
because they're too crunchy. But like tortilla chips, I can eat those.
Okay, because they can melt more.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never thought about that, but yes, they can melt.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. They melt. Oh, wow.
So you don't crunch them.
No.
Okay.
I hold them in my mouth, actually. Yeah. That's weird.
See, that's why you need to work with someone.
Now I did. Now my
it's
eyes
a
are open.
partnership.
Yeah, and that's what I just realized now. That's so crazy. Interesting. You just opened my eyes. Thank you. Oh, wow. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and again, there's so many different foods, so many ways to cook food and prepare food, and different shapes and colors. So there's a lot of room to grow.
And that's another thing too, is like being a single girl, like you mentioned, cooking, it's hard, especially when you're neurodivergent, like to cook too. Like, number one, I have a hard time eating already. And number two, then I have to cook just for myself, these like things. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to drink a soup. I'm just going to drink a soup. Yeah.
That's why it's okay to start small. It's okay to, celebrate the small wins, like eating meat and In-N-Out burger. That's a big win,
Yeah.
and just take your time. Step
Just
by
be
step.
patient.
Yeah, just be patient with yourself and trust your body. And just the fact that you're here and that you want to try to, add more foods and try different things and get out of your comfort zone, that's a big win.
Thank you.
Yeah. You did mention that you work out. And let's go back to, you said you were working out. You wanted to make sure that you're eating enough protein. So how do you get your protein other than the smoothie?
That's another thing too. So when I'm like bulking or working out, because I work out 3 times a week, and I do only lift weights. I don't do cardio just because I don't need to lose weight. So I'm really trying to like put on muscle. So how do I do that? I feel like I'm eating constantly. I feel like I'm stuffing my face constantly. And that to me was hard. So you want to talk about big wins? To me, eating more was a big win for me. Like I remember when I gained 10 pounds, obviously since I'm on the spectrum, like my weight fluctuates just because that's how I've been. But I gained like 10 pounds and I was really proud of myself because that was hard for me. Like it's hard to gain weight. It's hard even as a woman, and then 10 pounds, like I was really proud of myself because I was eating a lot. So I would set timers on my phone just because obviously I lose track of time. So I would set timers on my phone every 3 hours of when I had to eat. So I was eating every 3 hours, and something that I had to make myself aware of was my eating. So I had to notice like, hey, I had to really pay attention and hone into my body and be like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten anything. So it's really training myself to get into the habit of eating because I never had that ever. So it's really, again, just training myself and getting into the habit of and the routine of eating. So once I do that, it's good, but it's hard to be consistent, because then life happens and it's just like, okay, now I have to start all over.
True.
So,
but the fact that you found a technique that works for you, setting alarms every 3 hours, and if you feel like this is working for you, keep doing that. That's great. That's a great way because like you said, life happens, you get caught up in something, you get busy, and then 4 or 5 hours go by and then you're starving all of a sudden. Yeah.
And that's what happens. And all of a sudden, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I haven't eaten. And then I just get hungry, I think it's just because my brain is just going all the time. And I don't realize sometimes until I'm at home sitting down and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I literally haven't eaten in 24 hours. And that happens all the time, to be completely honest. Like I'll realize that like, oh my gosh, I literally haven't eaten since literally yesterday morning.
Oh no.
Yeah. But but I literally just forget. And it's not, and I don't know.
Please keep setting alarms.
I know. And that's,
because that's too long.
I know. And that's the problem for me is it's hard for me to feel hungry.
So then when you feel hungry, where do you feel it in your body? Where do you feel like you're starving?
So that's where my therapist, she really taught me of like to listen to my body and feel it in my body. So that's a new thing for me. So I just started feeling it like obviously in my stomach, and I never felt that before. I would feel it like in my throat or like in my like it was like more anxiety, I think. And now I feel it like it feels healthier.
The physical hunger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's more of like I'm hungry rather than desperation, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's because you got to know your body and you got to be more consistent with your meals. So that's why you're able to notice that, okay, this is physical hunger because you were able to go to a routine and eat regularly. So it helps regulate your hunger cues as well.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I should go back to doing alarms.
Yes, please.
That's interesting. That makes sense though.
Yeah. Just make sure that you keep setting those alarms even when life gets crazy. Have some snacks with you on the go, wherever you're going, if you have meetings and stuff, so just so that you don't go so many hours without eating.
And that was my problem, especially when I would go hours, I would go get candy, you know, and because that's like fast, keeps me going. But then I stopped eating candy because that's not good for you. So that was hard too.
That's not nourishing.
I know. And that was my problem because I'm just fueling my brain and my body with additives, you know, and that was just not good.
Yeah.
But then I just felt not even, what I did notice is when I started to eat healthier and I stopped eating like my comfort foods, which I still eat my comfort foods, but not 24/7. Like I know it's horrible, but like I would go to McDonald's all the time, you know, because they're fries, that's a comfort food. They're spicy chicken sandwiches, that's a comfort food. But that's because like when I'm out in public, it's hard for me to pick places to eat because there aren't too many places that I can eat. And I'm the type of person where if I don't like it, I can't force myself to eat it. I can't do that. So I think that too is where like if it's not something I want to eat, I would rather not eat. And I think that's also too is where I learned that I do have to have snacks with me, and I do have to, you know, drink a protein shake with before I go anywhere. And that was something that saved me. Is before I leave the house, I always, just because I don't know what's gonna happen, I just have a protein shake.
Just to be safe. That's a very good point, because you're making sure that you're fed and that you're not, you know, going long hours without eating. Yeah.
So that's something I try to do. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're taking care of yourself.
Thank
and
you
you
so
have
much.
those, you know, you're trying to set a routine for yourself and be able to keep adding more foods. And I don't know if you still want to keep gaining weight or maintain, but just building, you know, some strength and
Yeah, that's the goal.
yeah,
Be strong.
be strong. I love it. So Darien, I appreciate you sharing your experience with ARFID with us today. And is there anything that you would like to say for our audience or anyone listening that may have ADHD or ARFID? So is there anything you want to share or you want to tell them?
That it's okay, and you're different, but it's okay. And just as long as you love yourself and you take care of yourself and you know that you're trying, and you literally just try, and you really have to love yourself. And especially if people don't understand, as long as you understand and you advocate for yourself. And to be honest, it's hard because you really have to be strong. You really have to find your backbone, which is hard, but people are going to make fun of you and they're going to give you a hard time. And I think that's what sucks about this, is people just make fun of you for being different and for being a picky eater, which it's not just being a picky eater, you know, it's not.
It's not. Yeah.
It's different than that. Like, it's literally in my brain, you know, it's hard. It's a chemical thing and it's hard. So what I want people to know is you're not alone. And it's okay. And it's okay. It's literally okay to be different. And that's what I want people to know, is it's okay to be different. And everybody is different. And I just wish that people were nicer to people who were different.
Yeah.
So I just want people to know you're different, and it's okay. That's it. Just, it's okay.
It's okay. And this is a very good point to mention, that please avoid commenting on people's eating, on people's weight, on people's bodies, because you don't know what they're going through. And it's not okay to comment when you don't know the whole story. even if you know the whole story, like keep your comments to yourself because it can hurt the other people,
And
the other
that's
person.
right. And that's my problem too, is like even people, they think it's just like, oh, one end of the spectrum, like, oh, you're like make fun of people who are bigger. But no, people make fun of, I've been made fun of my entire life for being skinny. Like, do you know how many people tell me like, oh, go eat a hamburger, or you need to go eat a cheeseburger, or are you anorexic? Like my mom, even in elementary school, she would check my hands because she would see me eating. So she thought I was bulimic. She would literally check my hands to see, because I guess girls who are bulimic have teeth marks on their fingers, and so she would literally check my fingers, and she knew I wasn't bulimic, but it was other people who got in her head, and then that got into my head where I'm just like, oh my gosh, is there something wrong with me, even my own mom. And it was hard. It's been hard. So I just want people to know you're not alone. You're not alone, and it's okay wherever you are on the spectrum. It's okay, and as long as you work on it and you're aware of it and you're trying, that's all you can do.
True.
That's all you can do.
Yes, you're right. And thank you for saying that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that was a very nice conversation. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad. Thank you so much for being here. And for our audience, you can find the video of this and all the episodes on our YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And if you want to come in and talk to me and be guest on the show, you can go on our website, thedietitianstable.com/apply, and we'll be happy to have you. Thank you again, and we'll catch you at the next episode.
The Dietitian's Table podcast is an independent production of the Dietitian's Table, LLC. Our co-founder and host is Joy Corey, MS, RD, CNSC. Our co-founder and CEO is Sam Sabaga. Our creative director and executive producer is me, Siri Khan. Content of the Dietitian's Table is for informational purposes only and is not intended as individual medical advice. For specific dietary or medical concerns, please reach out to your primary care provider.